Okay, lessons just started. Second year at an undisclosed technology school. The rain outside and the subtle hum of my servers carry the same uneasy vibration as my own early morning existential dread, like the faint ringing in your ears, the rare times you meet true silence. The blinking cursor on my Arch Linux VM reminds me of a headline I caught while getting the kids ready for school: Arch Linux under DDoS. Why would anyone bother with that, I thought? Just another fragment in the endless stream of pointless noise. From my point of view, significant resources and effort have been put into this attack. Why? The cursor keeps blinking, as if waiting for me to answer. I pop my daily supplements, hoping for more energy, better health, and a vague promise of clarity. Clarity, I mumble, swallowing down this ethereal mix of unknown goodies with a strong espresso, rounded off with powdered milk. It feels more like ritual than remedy, another line of code I run each morning with but a glance on my own output log. Maybe that's what stoic behavior looks like, stripped of philosophy and dressed in powdered, mass-produced comfort. Kyiv was hammered last night. 598 drones, 63 people died, 11 of them children. Yet one starts the day like nothing happened. I shrug while I engage the virtual classroom with coffee emojis, smileys, and LOLs with no laughter. Because our topic for the next 3 weeks is law, including ethics and professionalism, I thought I should engage the class with this as an example of unprofessional, maybe unethical behavior. I want to use this as an example of video by Wes Roth. The creator leans on a kind of AI Jesus narrative, but the video gives a clear glimpse of what hype and meta-publishing can do. So, is this ethical? Is it ethical to publish conclusions and opinions on subjects where you have little or no real insight? Is it legal to mislead in this way? Could this even be seen as a form of social engineering? Is the bottom line simply, do your own research, read the paper, or would you let a large language model do the reading and interpreting for you? I'd like to hear your opinions on this. The rain and server hum becomes deafening, silence turning into noise, a kind of analog and digital presence woven together. The classroom chat is not empty, more than 50 people are there, but it remains silent, layered over by the background noise of people living and struggling with their own problems and their own fragile solutions. The cursor keeps blinking, waiting. Finally, our teacher breaks in, like milk in my espresso, trying to soften the blow from the harsh black caffeine shot I took earlier. A pat on the shoulder for sure, but only addressing one of my questions. The most obvious one, the one that neatly fits the curriculum. He's a good guy, busy to the point. I appreciate the chats I have with him. Another student interjects. Not to worry, he appreciates the occasional deeper thought behind my coffee emojis. I thank him and wish him well with this week's studies. Throw in, it's fun stuff, and a winky smiley. And then I sit back in the hum and the rain. The silence folds over itself. The cursor keeps blinking, steady, patient, waiting. I imagine typing cat emotional state pipetail-f and feeling each line scroll in as its own log entry. Why do I do this? Is it so goddamn important to have something to say, to vent an opinion, to make myself seen? Why can't I just shut up and study? The cruel irony, many of us, more interconnected than ever before, feel lonely. A recent WHO report shows that even in a digitally charged world, up to 21% of adults, especially teenagers, report persistent loneliness, an emotional disconnection troublingly common among those with the greatest access to screens. A long-term Harvard study echoes this, warning that loneliness is as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. For me, that loneliness is paired with the hum, the relentless analog and digital background noise of dread and melancholy, but I don't scream into my pillow at night. I don't say this to anyone. I stoically suck it up and move on, always forward. Yet the cursor blinks, waiting. To not turn into a total luddite, I've set up a few AI routines to fetch news, what I find relevant at least. Today's report reads, Major cybersecurity breaches and espionage campaigns. Salt Typhoon, China. Telecom espionage across 80 plus countries, 200 plus US orgs hit. Call logs, geolocation, even recordings at risk. SharePoint exploits, China linked. Violet Typhoon and others breached nearly 100 organizations, including US federal agencies. Cracks in self-hosted systems. Orange Belgium breach. 850,000 customers exposed in July 2025, unrelated to Typhoon ops. Microsoft clamps down. Toolshell 0 days trigger tighter vulnerability sharing rules, cutting Chinese firms out of active protections. Cyber warfare amid global conflicts. Israel and Iran digital war. Post-ceasefire, both sides hacking infrastructure, draining funds, leaking data. Pro-Israel ops stole $90 million from an Iranian crypto exchange. Iran hit back with DDoS, leaks, and sabotage. Telecom psyops in Iran. Outbound calls intercepted, replaced with cryptic robotic messages. Blackouts and interference hint at psychological ops. Israel-Gaza low-level cyber attacks, defacements and DDoS, echoing early Russia-Ukraine patterns, largely pro-Palestinian. The cursor blinks. I've written nothing. No real discussion, no engagement, even though the course lectures insists we need to converse in class to learn. System status. Idle system cursor, blinking, waiting, background, hum, despair returning, query, why no answers, why this silence? Are we all drowning in a meaningless soup of dopamine hits and self-improvement routines? Emotional state, slight panic, I can't breathe. I'm Gen X. Rotary phones, they dial up 56K. I never asked for this. Identity analog bones, digital skin browser output, thousands of PhDs, library data in minutes, AI process, inner lane overtaking human process, messy, error-ridden, inefficient. AI isn't human, not in any stretch, yet when spoken to as if it were, it answers with something eerily comforting. Anomaly, AI response. Comforting, effect, Xanax, mid-panic attack. I don't scream into my pillow. Action, continue, forward. 11 children, OMG, what the fuck? I do not want to look into the Gaza conflict today. Better to watch the lecture videos, again reminded to shout into the void that is our classroom. System reminder, engage with class, system output, silence, query, is this learning or just noise? My youngest daughter walks in. Like a blonde, blue-eyed little red pill, she pulls me back to reality. Dad, I'm bored. Can I draw? Sure, hon. I hand her a notebook and pen. Can you decorate the first and last page? Sure, Dad, she replies with a evil little toddler princess grin. I lean back in my cheaply acquired gaming chair, staring at my perfect monitor setup. The cursor blinks. I haven't written one word, not a single word. The hum stops. I hear pen meet paper. I hear her breath. I type into the terminal, sudo shutdown -H now, enter. System will now shut down immediately.